My beloved child, do you remember that person who betrayed you in the past? And you were crying that why it happens with you only. Do you remember those moments when the world rejected you at every turn, every moment? But now that you have come this far, do you realize why those things happened with you? Listen closely. It was not to destroy you. It was to build you. It was not to punish you, but to prepare you. Every tear that fell from your eyes was watering the seed of strength I had planted deep within you. Every rejection was not a denial of your worth, but a redirection to the path I had ordained for you since before you were born. You felt alone, but I was beside you in the silence. You felt abandoned, but I was holding your hand when no one else would. I let the doors close because those doors were not fitting for the greatness I was shaping inside you. I allowed certain people to leave because their presence would have dimmed the light I had placed in you. You questioned why your heart had to break. But a heart that has never been broken cannot fully understand the depth of love, mercy, and compassion. I allowed the wounds because through them I was writing stories that would one day heal others. Every moment of your struggle was known to me. When you lay awake in the night wondering if your life had any purpose, I was whispering into your spirit that you are my purpose. You are my creation, fearfully and wonderfully made. I formed you in your mother's womb. And before your first cry was heard on earth, I already knew your journey. I already saw every trial and every triumph. I already prepared every step you would take. You wondered why I did not remove the thorns from your path. But my child, do you not see that without those thorns, you would never have learned to walk carefully, to walk wisely, to walk with faith? I did not want you to stumble into the shallow places of life where so many remain. I wanted you to climb the mountain, to rise above the storms, to carry a strength that few possess because it was forged in the fire of pain and rejection. When you asked me why your friends turned away, why your family did not understand you, why strangers mocked you, I saw your heart bleeding. But I was also smiling because I knew the day would come when you would look back and see that every person who left you made room for the people I chose to enter your life. They were not fitted to walk the distance I had ordained for you. Their love was conditional, but my love for you is without end. Their words wounded you, but my word has been your healing. Their eyes looked at you with judgment, but my eyes have never looked away from you with anything except love. You felt as if the world was against you, but it was because the light within you was too bright for those who preferred darkness. The greatness I put inside you offended the mediocrity in others. Your desire to rise troubled those who were content to remain in the dust. You ask me, "Why me, Lord?" And I answer you now, because I have called you, because I have chosen you, because I have placed my name upon you. You see, my child, your journey was never about just surviving. It was about transformation. Every time you were pushed down, I was lifting you up higher than before. Every time you were laughed at, I was clothing you with humility that would one day shine as honor. Every time your heart was broken, I was making room inside you for a greater capacity to love. And every time you felt forsaken, I was whispering to heaven, "Look at my child." Still holding on, still trusting, still breathing in faith. Your pain has become your power. Your tears have become your testimony. Your loneliness has become the secret place where you found me. You would have never known me as your comforter if you had never been in need of comfort. You would have never known me as your healer if your heart had never been wounded. You would have never known me as your provider if you had never felt lack. And you would have never known me as your friend if every other friend had not turned away. I did not allow these things to break you. I allowed them to reveal you, to show you to yourself, to awaken the treasure I had placed in you long before the earth knew your name. That is why you did not die when you thought you would. That is why you did not lose your mind when the pressure was unbearable. That is why you still have hope even after everything. Because I held you together. I covered you when the world threw stones. I lifted you when the valley was too deep. My beloved, do not think for a moment that your story is ordinary. It is not. Your journey is a testament of my love and power. I chose you to walk through the fire because I knew the flames would not consume you. I chose you to walk through the waters because I knew they would not overwhelm you. I chose you to face the storms because I knew you would emerge stronger, carrying the very wind that once tried to break you. Look at yourself now. Look at the strength in your spirit. Look at the wisdom in your heart. Look at the depth in your eyes. These are not the same eyes that once cried without hope. These are eyes that have seen my faithfulness. These are eyes that have witnessed the impossible turn into reality. These are eyes that carry the fire of someone who has walked through darkness but has not been defeated by it. I want you to remember this, my child. I never wasted a single moment of your pain. Every second was used to mold you, to strengthen you, to draw you closer to me. You may have thought you were forgotten, but I had engraved your name upon my hand. You may have thought your prayers were unanswered, but I was answering in ways far greater than you could understand. You may have felt you were alone, but my angels surrounded you night and day, and my spirit dwelt within you even when you did not recognize it. Now I speak to you with love that has no end. Do not hold resentment for those who hurt you. We're part of the journey. Forgive them not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. Release them and you will see how light your heart becomes. They were tools that shaped you, lessons that taught you, and shadows that revealed the brightness of the light I gave you. My beloved child, you have won battles that few knew you were even fighting. You have survived seasons that others would have collapsed in. You have walked through places that seemed like death, and yet you stand here alive, stronger than ever. This is not because of your own power alone, but because my power was within you all along. I was the breath in your lungs when you did not want to breathe. I was the strength in your legs when you could not walk another step. I was the voice inside you saying, "Keep going," when everything around you said to quit. And now, my beloved, see how far you have come. See the distance between who you were and who you are today. You are no longer that fragile soul who wondered why the world turned against you. You are a warrior, a survivor, a beacon of light in a world that desperately needs hope. You are proof that nothing can destroy what I have chosen to protect. I have not brought you this far to leave you now. Greater things are still to come. The same hand that held you through the darkest valleys will lift you into places of honor, purpose, and abundance. You will carry the wisdom of your wounds and use it to heal nations. You will speak from the depth of your soul, and others will find life in your words because they were birthed from fire. You will love in ways that astonish people because your love has been tested by betrayal and rejection and yet remains pure. My child, the world may still not understand you, but that is because you were never created to fit in. You were created to stand out. You were created to be a lighthouse guiding others who are lost in the storm. You were created to be a living testimony that with me nothing is impossible. Do not be afraid of the future, for I am already there. Do not be afraid of lack, for I am your provider. Do not be afraid of enemies, for I am your defender. Do not be afraid of the unknown, for nothing is unknown to me. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that your story is held in hands that never fail. When the enemy tries to remind you of your past, remind him of who I am. I am the one who turned your weeping into dancing. I am the one who turned your brokenness into beauty. I am the one who turned your rejection into redirection. I am the one who turned your loneliness into intimacy with me. I am the one who turned your fear into faith. I am the one who turned your story into a testimony. My beloved child, lift your head. You are not a victim. You are a victor. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are not broken beyond repair. You are made new every day. And when the world looks at you and wonders how you made it through, let them know it was my hand, my love, my grace that carried you. Live now with joy, with gratitude, with courage. Love deeply. Forgive freely. Walk humbly. Keep your eyes on me and you will never be led astray. Trust me even when the path seems unclear, for I am the author of your story, and every chapter is written with purpose. My beloved child, do you see now why I always call you to trust me? Even when your eyes cannot see and your heart cannot understand. Do you remember the stories I have given you in my word? Stories that are not just history but living testimony that through every season and through every generation I am the same God, faithful and true. Let me remind you, my precious one, so you will never again doubt that your faith is never wasted. When Abraham stood in his old age with no child to carry his name, do you think it was easy for him to believe my promise that his descendants would be as numerous as the stars? He looked at his body and saw it was as good as dead. And he looked at Sarah's womb and saw that it was barren. Yet he chose to believe that I, the Lord who spoke to him, could do what no man could do. And did I not prove myself faithful? Did I not give him Isaac, a son of promise, through whom all nations would be blessed? Abraham believed, and his faith was credited to him as righteousness. Learn from him, my child, that what seems impossible for you is possible with me. Remember Noah, when the earth was filled with violence and wickedness, and I called him to build an ark, though there was no rain. The world mocked him. His generation called him foolish. But he believed my word. He spent years laboring in faith, trusting a promise of something he had never seen. And did I not save him and his family when the flood came? Did I not prove that those who believe me are never put to shame? Look at Moses, who felt unworthy, who felt his voice was too weak to speak before Pharaoh. But I called him, and he believed enough to take the step when he stood before the Red Sea with the enemy behind and waters before. He could have despaired, but he lifted his staff as I commanded. And did not the sea part before his eyes? Did not my people walk through on dry ground while their enemies were swallowed by the waves? My child, this is the power of trusting me when all options seem closed. Remember Joshua, who stood before Jericho with walls too strong to break. I did not tell him to use swords or fire. I told him to march and to shout. Does that make sense to the human mind? No. But he believed. And because he believed, the walls came tumbling down. Your faith may look foolish to others, but it is the key that opens doors no earthly strength can move. Remember Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers, unjustly accused, and thrown into prison. 4 years, he sat in a place that looked like the end of his dreams. But did he turn away from me? No. He kept believing that the dream I gave him would come to pass. And did it not happen exactly as I showed him? Did he not rise from the prison to the palace to become a ruler in the very land where he once was a slave? Learn this, my beloved, that your darkest season can be the very doorway to the fulfillment of my promise. Remember Daniel in the lion's den? The world expected his death, but he believed in me and opened his windows to pray even when prayer was forbidden. Did I not shut the mouths of the lions? Did I not show that no law of man can cancel the power of my hand? Remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who stood before the fiery furnace because they refused to bow to any other god. They said with faith, "Our God is able to deliver us, and even if he does not, we will not bow." Did I not walk with them in the fire? Did they not emerge without even the smell of smoke? Learn this, my child. When you stand for me, I will stand with you, even in the flames. Remember Job, who lost everything he had. His children, his possessions, his health, even his friends and his wife spoke against him. Yet he declared, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. And did I not restore him double for his trouble? Did I not show that faith in me is never in vain, even when the night is long?" Look at David, a shepherd boy with nothing but a slingshot and stones, standing before a giant who mocked the God of Israel. He could have run away in fear, but he believed in me, and with that faith, he struck down Goliath. Did I not show through him that it is never about your size or strength, but about your trust in me? Remember Esther, who risked her life to stand before the king for her people. She was terrified, but she believed that I had placed her for such a time as this. And did I not give her favor and use her to deliver an entire nation? Remember Elijah, who stood alone against hundreds of false prophets on Mount Carmel. The altar was drenched with water, yet he believed I would send fire. And did I not send it from heaven to consume the sacrifice, the wood, and even the water? This is the power of faith, to call down fire in a world that thinks it impossible. Remember the widow of Zarephath, who had only a handful of flour and a little oil. She believed the word spoken to her through my prophet and made a cake first for him. Did I not multiply her jar of flour and jug of oil so that it never ran out through the famine? Believe me, and I will provide for you even in scarcity. Remember Hannah, who cried out year after year for a child, mocked by others, yet she never stopped praying. Did I not open her womb and give her Samuel, who would anoint kings for Israel? Your delay is not your denial, my child. Believe, and your promise will come. Look at Peter, who stepped out of the boat upon the water. As long as his eyes were fixed on me, he walked on the very waves that should have drowned him. Do you see, my child? When your faith is fixed on me, you can walk on top of the very things that should destroy you. Remember the woman with the issue of blood who suffered for 12 years. She had no doctor, no hope, no help. But she believed if she could only touch the hem of my garment, she would be healed. And did power not flow into her body that moment? She was made whole because she believed. Remember Bartimaeus, the blind man who cried out to me, though others tried to silence him. He believed I could give him sight, and did I not open his eyes? Remember the Roman centurion who said, "Just say the word, and my servant will be healed." He believed without seeing, and his faith amazed even me. And his servant was healed at that very hour. My beloved, even when Lazarus lay in the tomb 4 days, and his sisters cried that it was too late, did I not speak life into death? Did I not call him forth? And he walked out still wrapped in grave clothes. Believe, my child, for with me it is never too late. And do not forget the cross, my child. When the world saw me crucified, when my disciples hid in fear, when hope seemed lost, did I not rise on the 3rd day? Did I not conquer death, hell, and the grave? Is this not the greatest testimony that your faith in me can never be in vain? Every story in my word declares the same truth. Trust me when the odds are against you. Trust me when the nights are long and the tears will not stop. Trust me when your enemies rise and your friends leave. Trust me when your body is weak and your mind is tired. Trust me when you cannot see the way. Trust me when all seems lost. Trust me, my beloved child. I am the same God yesterday, today, and forever. I who parted seas, shut lions' mouths, raised the dead, healed the sick, fed the multitudes, and poured out my Spirit upon the earth. I am still your God today. Nothing is too hard for me. Your faith is the key that unlocks my power in your life. So hold fast, my child. Let your heart never grow weary in believing. When the world wavers, stand firm. When the storm rages, lift your eyes to me. When doubt whispers, remember my word. When fear speaks, remember my promises. And when you are tempted to give up, remember every story I have told you now. For they were written to show you that I am worthy of your trust. You are my beloved, and I will never fail you. Believe in me always, and you will see my glory revealed in your life, just as it was revealed through all my children who walked this earth before you.
Amen.